Hello, hello. Thank you for checking in. It is Wednesday, humpless day. So hello. But thank you for checking in. Let me say hello to everybody. Allura Star and Shocker and Sturgis Guy and Tesis and House of Dave and Sam and St. Clinton and Eric and Petey and Tim and Ryan and Photo and Philip Chandler and Mark Mean and Star Raven and Angie Jonas and Fairies Lover and Lucky Girl and Azure Yusuf and The Crim and Marcel and Jim Dandy and Bill Knaus and Scott Kimmis and Joe Barney and Ben Stapler and John McCain and N1QOV and Cosmic Joe and Jay Dolman and Good Looking Guy and Sam and St. Clinton and Wing Doggy and Max and Katakata and Boot and Swede. Hello. Hello. Thank you for checking in. Great to see everybody. I hope you're having a great week so far. This humpless day. 2 more days till the weekend. We got to get over that Wednesday hump. And yes, and this is a telethon today. I'm raising money to pay my gigantic electric bill. Lack of car fund. Anyone who feels like contributing small donations will be happily accepted on my PayPal. Oh, thanks, David Jones. Woohoo, yes. Your donations will be happily accepted. Yeah, the electric company has surprised me with a $500 bill. I do not have it. I already don't have a car. Yeah, so accepting donations for the Starving Actress Buy Me a Hamburger Fund. No, it's not a mistake, Allura. It's a real bill. That's what I thought. Like, wait, this must be a mistake. Nope. Anyhow. So, yeah, telethon. I will sing and dance for you. Or I will not sing and dance for you as per your request. Woohoo! So, hello. I hope everyone's having a good day. It's a nice day. I'm still killing caterpillars off my bush, picking caterpillars off my bush outside. They're still trying to kill it. It was completely bare, like a completely bare naked bush. It looked like it was dead. Now it was covered with caterpillars. Some are mini tiny, some are huge. And for the last month, I have been going out like every other day and killing like 100 caterpillars a day at least. And now they're starting to get some sprouts of leaves. It's starting to come back. But every day I have to kill a whole, they just keep coming. Leave my bush alone. That's what she said. Wait, no. So, oh my gosh. And yesterday I saw the mouse again. Still not in the traps. I saw it again and I moved the traps. I put traps outside. I have traps inside. Still, and there's more dirt dug up on the outside part. They're getting too smart. They're too smart for me. How is it jumping over? Did I tell my landlord? My landlord doesn't care about mice. They don't live here. Sorry. Well, that really sucks. Yeah, so, yes, I'm raising money for the Kill the Dangerous Vermin campaign. Laura says, I need to move. I'm raising money for the moving fund. Thank you, Laura. But yes, any small amount of support would be most appreciated, because I'm trying to raise a few $100s to pay my giant bills that just don't stop coming. Oh, thanks, David Jones. Hi, Wing Doggy. Wing Doggy has no sound. Oh. Laura says, at least you don't have huge credit card bills like her. Well, that's because I don't have enough money to have a credit card. And you could ignore credit card bills. Sure, they'll call you or whatever, but they won't. And sure, they'll say you have bad credit, but they can't evict you. They can't turn off your power. Laura says she has 3 credit cards. I don't have any credit, Laura. 0 credit, no credit cards. Once they say, David Jones says he has 0 debt. Well, yeah, just go ahead and brag about that, David Jones. David Jones owes nothing to no one. Nothing. Who else is struggling with debt and bills? David Jones has no debt and perfect credit. Why are you wasting that perfect credit on no debt, David Jones? Get with the program. Go buy something. Now, David Jones, you're just rubbing it in. Just rubbing it in. David Jones says, haha. That's what, David Jones, you are just not living enough then. You need to go shoe shopping or buy me a car. Yes, there's a good idea. David Jones, instead of pizza, with your perfect credit and your lack of debt. See, if you bought me a car, David Jones, that would actually be good for your credit card report, because they like you to spend money. David Jones is like, no way in hell. Never. So, woohoo! David Jones says he might be willing to give me his old car, which is 12 years old, and coincidentally would be the newest car I have ever driven. That is true, and that's not funny, but I'll take it. I will take your crappy old car. I'm sure it's very clean too. I bet you've kept it in pristine condition. David Jones says it's perfect. I knew it would be. I bet you've never even eaten in your car. Oh, and it's a 4Runner. Oh, perfect, David Jones. That sounds excellent. Bring it on over. David Jones is, do you hear that? It's a black 4Runner. Okay. What are you teasing me for? Bring it over. I want it. It's with leather seats with David Jones. That's it. That's all you have to say. It is high time that you got a new car, David Jones. You deserve a new car with your 800 score credit report and your no debt. It's about time that you help the American economy by buying a new car and giving me yours. It would be the patriotic thing to do. David Jones says, am I an official charity? Absolutely. Hello. Not only am I an official charity, I am a federal disaster zone as well. Yeah. I'm a federal disaster zone, and I am just about to have my apartment condemned for the mice, which are haunting me. Mice and termites. And oh, well. So anyhow, so hello. It is Wednesday, hump day. And how is everybody doing today? Are you all having a good day? Yes, and in case you noticed all my tweets on Twitter, yes, I am happily accepting donations. However small or large you're able to donate to my relief fund. The Lorielle new relief fund, pay the electric bill, get her off the streets, and feed her a hamburger. Keep the lights on, feed her a hamburger, and get her off the street relief fund. We'll take your donations of $5, $10, $20, $100, or $1,000. The PayPal link is on Twitter. I feel like PBS. If you've enjoyed the programming here on PBS Live with Lorielle New for the past 7 years, please donate so we can keep providing this excellent programming to pay the overhead bills for the studio, to keep the electric on. David Jones says, ha ha. David Jones says, ha ha. You'll just have to go to bed when the sun goes down and eat raw cans of cold cans of beans. Well, we know how David Jones feels. Thank you, David Jones. I'm waiting for the car. Are you going to drive it here? Because not only if you drive it here, you have to do a podcast too. Yeah, Linda says that suggests that I send special gifts to anyone who donates a large. Yeah, I'll send you a special gift. Oh, and I have big news. Big news. I almost forgot. I was getting distracted by my bills. I almost forgot. Big news regarding my trial. I just spoke to the DA today. You were the first ones hearing this. Big news. I didn't tell you that the end of August, I was been really, really nervous and really stressed, especially August and not sleeping, because the trial was set for August 29th. And I was going to leave, but I didn't want to say anything. Because I was too nervous to talk about it. Anyhow, it was postponed. and it was supposed to be postponed to sometime this month. And it got postponed because the trials for other things were delayed and delayed. And I was a wreck, nervous wreck. Like, I didn't sleep for like 2 weeks. I was just shaking, so nervous. And so I've been still, that's been making me really stressed. Anyhow, I just talked to the DA today, and shockingly, the bad guy, the defendant, has taken a plea deal. What that means is there will not be a trial. He has admitted to guilt. He has accepted the plea deal that the DA offered them, which was 10 years. 10 years in prison. He accepted a deal for 10 years. So I am, on one hand, I'm very happy. And on the other hand, I'm a little frustrated because I was, despite being very scared, I wanted to face him. I wanted to have my day in court to face my attacker and you know, have that closure of going to court and telling my story and everything that goes with it. I was terrified, but at the same time, it was something that I really, really wanted to do because I knew it would make me feel good to do that despite my fear, to conquer that fear and face him and be strong and stand up for myself and tell my story. So I don't get to do that. But that's something, I guess, that my ego has to deal with, because the good part is he's accepted the deal for 10 years in jail. He can't hurt anyone else, and it doesn't cost the state any money of having to do a trial. I don't have to travel, so it's good. It's a good thing. It's a little frustrating, but I'll get over that. But you are the first ones to hear this. So yeah, so I don't have to go, but it was supposed to be on the 29th, and I didn't know they were going to cancel it. It was up in the air till actually like I wasn't going to, you know, I was waiting to the last second to make the travel arrangements, and because they know, because I was coming in, they said don't make your tickets until just before, because as trials go, as the court system goes, things are always, you know, there's a potential for change. You know, the other lawyers, this lawyer, the judge, anybody involved might have another case that goes longer, which will bump the schedule. It's like airplanes, you know, if you miss your connection, you miss the next flight. So, anyhow. Yeah. So, yeah, so I didn't know until like literally like 2 days before. It was like Friday, and I was supposed to fly on Monday, that it was definitely postponed. And I didn't know until today that yes, accepted a plea deal, which I'm actually quite surprised about. I'm surprised that he took a plea deal for 10 years, which is kind of a long time. I mean, I'm surprised because, you know, you never know with a jury trial. You're kind of rolling the dice of could get more. That's what the DA offered him, 10. And if it were me, I would have said, well, I might get less if I go with a jury trial. Maybe I'll only get 5 or 7. Or I could get more, but probably I would, if I were the convict, if I were the defendant, I would have probably gone with a trial, because there's a chance you could get less. So I'm actually surprised, but, and not only that, but I don't know if I told you guys this, but two of the police officers that got the credit for the arrest of my defendant, one of them was an officer that was killed when they had that shootout, when that guy shot the police officers. The arresting officer was one of the guys who was killed, and their other officer was injured and has just recovered. So he was still going to go to the trial, and he had been injured, and the other guy was killed. So that's crazy. So yeah, so anyhow, so I don't have a trial. Now I have to deal with all the ramifications of that and the closure or lack of closure. I'm like, okay, because I have been for the last year, anticipating, trying to get myself ready for this trial. David Jones says that was a very sad day in Dallas. Yeah, and my officer, the arresting officer, it's hard for me to know which one was which because there was literally like 25 police officers there. But there's usually one person who actually gets the credit for that arrest, even though there's a whole bunch of people there. So I don't know which guy, and besides all the officers there, then there were officers that drove me someplace and the officers that drove me back, and there was EMTs. So there was a large crowd of people. So and all of their faces were such a blur because I was like, as you can imagine, like freaked out, traumatized, crying, and with a concussion, and wow. And David Jones says this week the main DA, Susan Hawk, who is the head DA, because there's the DA, and then there's probably like 100 other lawyers or 50 or whatever, however many there are that work for the DA. I guess we call it assistant DAs or whatever they're called. But the main DA, Susan Hawk, resigned. Yeah, that I heard about her because she had been taking time off for like depression or mental health issues. Hi, St. Clinton. St. Clinton says you can send the judge a survivor impact statement. The judge isn't required to stick with the deal and could give him more or less. Most judges do stick with the plea deal. Yeah, I suspect, 10 years, that's a long time. We see people getting ridiculously low sentences for all kinds of crimes. It's shocking the difference that you see in sentences between, I think depending on what kind of lawyers you get, or if you're rich or poor or black or white. You see it's pretty clear that there's a big discrepancy in the judicial system. And not to say that 10 years is wrong, or I'm not complaining. I think that's a pretty long time. But part of it also is because he was on parole from his previous crimes and wearing an ankle monitor, and had just seen his parole officer. So his crime he committed against me while on parole, that kind of like counts double. It's like double coupons when you do something under those conditions. Yeah, when they let you out on parole, it's because, okay, you served half your sentence, you're on parole, we're letting you out is on good behavior. But if you do anything wrong, not only are you coming back for your old sentence, but yeah, if you commit a crime while you're on parole, it counts like double. So St. Clinton suggests that I write a screenplay about what happens and submit it, try to get it submitted to different TV shows and see if somebody wants to make it into an episode or something. That's a good idea, St. Clinton. And it's true, writing is always good, even if it doesn't happen. I mean, I did a little bit of writing when it first happened, and but I haven't done that much. I've kind of been avoiding it. I've just been a nervous wreck for the last year. And I still like jump and shake and little noises, and I scream all the time. My neighbors hear me screaming all the time. But so yeah, so you're hearing it first. You were the first ones. I haven't told anyone else. No, Sweet doesn't even know yet. I haven't talked to anyone. You were the first ones to hear this news about the deal and the trial. So, thanks, Wing Doggy. Yes, I do, Linda. Though I haven't been able to go, since my car's not been working, I haven't been able to go to see my therapist for a while. Yes, David Jones says. So, yeah. And so, yeah. So if you feel, if you feel really bad about my trial, if you feel bad that I don't have a car, feel free to contribute to the Lorielle Relief Fund to help pay for, this is a telethon, to help pay for my $500 electrical bill and lack of car. Taking donations, no matter, everything appreciated, no matter how small. Links are on PayPal. David Jones says he's sad that I'm not coming back to Dallas for the trial. Actually, David Jones, I was looking forward to the cupcakes. Linda says I should take the bus. I should take the bus, yeah. I can't take Uber, Linda, because there are two things you need for Uber: a smartphone and a credit card. Thank you, St. Clinton. Thank you for checking in. Have a nice visit with your sister. Bye. Thank you, St. Clinton. David Jones says the cupcake place in Dallas is named Sprinkles. I believe there is a Sprinkles in Beverly Hills with cupcakes as well. I'm not sure if it's a branch, if it's of the same Sprinkles or just another place named Sprinkles. But it's the same company. Okay, I had their cupcakes a few years ago. Okay, maybe more than a few years ago. Maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. But I still remember it. They're very good. But they have a cupcake place in Beverly Hills that it gets a line outside of people waiting for cupcakes. It's been a very long time since I had a cupcake. Thank you, St. Clinton. Do they have the ATM? I don't think so. I don't think they have the cupcake ATM in Beverly Hills. But I don't know. I don't know if it says on the website. But yeah, so that's it. That's the breaking news. That's breaking news today. The defendant, the criminal, the bad guy, my attacker has accepted a plea deal. He has accepted 10 years in jail for attacking me, which is pretty serious. That's a really long time. I think the fact that he was out on parole at the time. I think probably doubled the sentence. But it's pretty scary when you think about it. I mean, you have to be hit really, really hard at the back of your head to knock you unconscious while walking. That is that is a big hit, and that can, people can die from that. You know, depending on how your skull is and how you hit the ground, people die from that. I'm lucky that well, I had a closed skull fracture, but I didn't have any lasting damage besides mental health. I didn't have any physical lasting damage that I know of so far, and I've had most everything checked. And I was lucky that I was able to come to and not have my purse stolen and chase a guy and get him caught, because both those things, you know, you don't know when you get knocked unconscious. You might be unconscious for a few seconds, you might be unconscious for a minute, or who knows, you know how your body reacts. It's up in the air. So, and I think the aquarium. And David Jones, that is a good idea. And I was waiting for the end of the court trial to look into that, because there was no security there, and it was on their property, and nobody was there at all. And the guy was waiting there. He wasn't just, he was waiting there for, the police said, like for a good 10 minutes, like waiting for, lying in wait for somebody to come. Wing Doggy says you're a badass. Thank you, Wing Doggy. Thank you, Wing Doggy. So yeah. So that's good. But I, you know, I've heard about when you get hit, like knocked unconscious, it's like it like causes your brain to short circuit. I mean, imagine your phone or your computer or whatever. It's a short circuit. To get hit like that knocks you unconscious. That, I mean, your brain, your body, it's not the same as passing out. It's because that is a boom, that is a short circuit of your whole system for however long it lasts. And thank you. Well, you know, if I was going to be there, Linda, and there was a trial, it would have been a good story for a follow-up. But since there's no trial and I won't be there, there's not much of a story for them to do as far as like a follow-up. It's not that enough, really, I don't think. Yeah, like a plea bargain is kind of anticlimactic. And I was so scared. I was so scared. I couldn't even talk about it. I didn't tell you guys that the trial was, because you know, I didn't know if there was a possibility it could be moved. So I didn't want to say anything and talk about it. And I was just too scared. I wanted to just like go there and then talk about it. But it was making me crazy for the last couple of months. Really, really. Oh, thank you. David Jones says if I was in Dallas, he would have taken me to dinner. Thank you, David Jones. That'd be nice. Well, instead, you can donate your car. How about that? It's a fair trade. David Jones says, if I come to Dallas, is that, oh, are you putting that? David Jones says, if I come to Dallas, he'll give me his car. If I come to Dallas tomorrow, he will give me his car. I see. I think all the flights are already taken off. Wing Doggy says I should write a story about it. Yeah, I should. Well, I was, despite extreme terror, I was afraid to travel. I was afraid to leave my house. I was afraid to go on the airplane. I was afraid to go back to Dallas. I was afraid to go to the trial. I was afraid to face the guy. It's like everything about it was scaring the crap out of me. But I was gonna do it, and I was looking forward to the closure and having my say in court and facing him and saying, "You're going to jail. I'm fighting back." But I am glad that they reached a plea deal. I'm surprised. 10 years is a long time. David Jones says it sounds like a Supergirl-ish episode. Yeah, but I've heard, and I'm wondering if you guys have heard this before. Like, you know, sometimes people that do those, like boxers or MMA guys, they get hit, like a head injury, because it makes your whole body short circuit. It can cause your things to release, like your bowels. You might poo might come out. You might pee, because all those muscles, things just release because you short circuit. So I don't know if you've heard about like boxers or MMA fighters getting hit and then like pooing their pants. They stand up, they're awake, and all of a sudden there's poo. But let me just tell you that is true. It does happen. That I tell you that is true. That is part of how I knew, like, oh, I really did have a concussion. Oh, wow. Because when you get knocked unconscious and you come to, you're like, was I unconscious? Because you don't know, because you were unconscious. Wait, what happened? Yeah, I didn't know. I wasn't even aware of it. I was so like, I couldn't feel anything in my body. It wasn't until like I was going home with Sweetie, and he was like, we were supposed to go somewhere, and he was like, because I didn't know, I couldn't feel anything. And he was like, you might want to take a shower. I'm like, do I smell? He's like, and it wasn't until I went to the bathroom to take a shower, and I was like, oh, I do smell. And then that's when I started crying. That's when I kind of lost it in the bathroom. And that's when I could start to see bruises and everything coming, and like it was swelling here and swelling there. And I was like, that's when it started to hit me. Because yeah, I was in shock, physically and mentally. Anyhow, so it's 6 o'clock. All right, I have gone over, so I am about to just about to sign off. This is awesome. Yeah, I'm just about to sign off, but yeah, you are the first ones to hear the announcement. So we'll put an end to that chapter, that piece, and deal with that. Yeah, I haven't even called Sweetie. I haven't I haven't told anyone. I haven't told my family. You are the first ones to hear this. World exclusive. So yeah, so I'm just about to sign off. But again, for anyone listening, I am having a telethon raising funds to pay for my giant electrical pail and refrigerator and empty fridge and lock of car. So anyone who feels like donating, PBS, I'm your public, yeah, feels like donating. My PayPal is on Twitter. Feel free to donate $5, 20, 100, whatever you want. All right. All right, I'm just about to sign off, but let me say thank you to everybody, Allura Star and Shocker and Sturgis Guy and T-Sist and House of Dave and Sam and St. Clinton and Eric and Petey and Tim and Ryan and Photo and Philip Chandler and Mark Mean and Star Raven and Angie Tomlinson and Fairies Lover and Lucky Girl and Edgar Yusuf and the Crim and Marcel and Jim Dandy and Bill Knaus and Scott Kimis and Joe Barney and Red Stapler and John McCain and Sturgis Guy and N1QOV and Blair Cooper and Brett and Terry Sue and N1QOV and Jay Dahlman and Cosmic Joe and Good Looking Guy and Kata Kata and Max and Wing Doggy. Thank you so much for checking in. Bye. Kisses for everyone. Bye. I love you. I'll see you guys tomorrow for Stupid Question Day.